So first off, I just want to remind you to watch the video that I attached to um, the that like calendar deal with the essential questions and the readings and all the rest of that stuff. Make sure you watch that video because it gives you some important perspective on what this week looks like. Particularly if if you're in one of my classes, I don't see you until Friday. So make sure you watch that. Now, in terms of this guy right here, uh, I'm having us do the Heimler history videos this way again, in part because of the stuff I talk about in that video, it being funky. Um, but that's the basic idea here is we're watching the Heimler history videos and taking notes on them instead of doing readings. Um, what was the other thing that I wanted to point out? I took out the clarifying questions. I don't know. I'm not sure if at this point I've found a good way of making use of those. In theory, they're very useful. I just haven't found a good way of making use of them. So I got rid of them, if only so they're not a distraction or whatever. Now, this week, we are still looking at empires. So a lot of that, I guess you could call it theme, is carrying over into this new unit as well. But the empires that we're looking at are primarily what we're going to say are maritime based, meaning they're ocean based. They're not landlocked. They're obviously conquering pieces of land. They care about land and the goods that are on that territory. But the control over that territory is based on their control of land, their ability to navigate, their control of the sea and their ability to navigate the sea. And it's the Europeans, as we saw with that introduction that we analyzed a whole bunch of times, it's the Europeans who basically kind of steal a bunch of other people's technology, cram it all into one thing, and then they go hunting for some God, glory, and gold is what you'll find in one of the Heimler history video. But basically, the Europeans take shipbuilding technology that really they came up with, but is also from other parts of the world. They're really the shipbuilding technology was really originated in Europe, but the navigational technology from outside of Europe, the use of gunpowder from outside of Europe, and as Europeans are good at, they take an idea that somebody else came up with, and then they perfect it. The Europeans really kind of throughout history do a good job of that, of taking somebody else's idea and just perfecting it, taking it to another level, refining it, and then eventually using it against those people to conquer them. Europeans really have a bad habit of doing that throughout history. And so that's basically what we've got going on this week. What we're starting on is that idea of the Europeans using those technologies we talked about to build empires and enrich themselves in the Americas primarily, is what we're looking at. This is Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1492. This is the time period we're finally taking a look at. But I do think we will also visit, as I look over my shoulder at some of the essential questions, I can't quite tell there. I think we may talk about Europeans um, and their influence in other parts of the globe, like Asia, as we read with the Portuguese in that introduction. But for the most part, we're here. What we're looking at now, these three videos are going to be primarily about um, the Europeans' empires in the Americas. Okay, so there you go. How long did I talk? Oh, geez, we're almost to 5 minutes. Oh boy.